Good morning, everyone. Today, I want to talk about something that every one of us has faced in life: rejection. Whether it's a failed job interview, a broken relationship, or an opportunity that slipped through our fingers, rejection has a way of making us feel small, unworthy, and defeated. But what if I told you that rejection isn't a weakness? It's actually one of the greatest strengths you can ever develop. Rejection often feels like a closed door, a painful reminder that something we wanted deeply is suddenly out of reach. Whether it's being turned down for a job, not getting accepted into a program, or facing a personal setback, the first instinct is to feel discouraged or question our worth. But rejection isn't always a stop sign. Sometimes it's a detour sign guiding us towards something better suited for our growth and potential. When one opportunity fades away, it clears the path for another that may align more closely with who we are meant to become. Life has a way of steering us toward experiences that teach us what we truly need, even when it feels uncomfortable at first. When we shift our perspective, rejection becomes less about loss and more about direction. Many times, we become so fixated on a particular goal or outcome that we overlook other possibilities. Rejection shakes us out of that tunnel vision and pushes us to explore different routes. It encourages self-reflection, helping us ask, why didn't this work out? And what can I learn from this? These questions often reveal hidden insights that can lead to more fulfilling choices. Instead of staying stuck in disappointment, we start to see rejection as a message, not a mistake. It's a nudge that there's something greater waiting beyond the current horizon. History is filled with stories of people who turned rejection into redirection. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper because he was told he lacked creativity. Oprah Winfrey was once deemed unfit for television. Yet, these rejections didn't destroy them. They guided them to discover their true paths. Each time they were rejected, life was quietly redirecting them to opportunities that aligned with their greater purpose. Their stories remind us that what feels like rejection today could actually be a redirection toward a breakthrough tomorrow. It's proof that sometimes life has a bigger vision for us than we can currently see. Embracing rejection as redirection requires trust. Trust in yourself and trust in the process. It means believing that not every door is meant to open and that every closed one has its reason. The pain of rejection can become a source of wisdom if we choose to view it with patience and perspective. When we stop fighting against rejection and start flowing with it, we begin to understand that every no we face is shaping us for a more meaningful yes. Rejection, in its truest sense, is not a punishment, it's guidance. It moves us away from what is not meant for us and toward what truly is. Rejection is not a sign of failure. It is a universal experience shared by every person who has ever achieved something great. Behind every success story lies a trail of disappointments, setbacks, and no's that once seemed impossible to overcome. The difference between those who succeed and those who give up is not luck or talent. It's perseverance. Great individuals like Thomas Edison, who failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb, or James Rowling, who faced multiple rejections before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon, all experienced rejection as a necessary step toward growth. Their resilience transformed rejection into motivation, proving that success is built not in the absence of failure, but through it. When we study the lives of successful people, one truth becomes clear. Rejection is an essential part of their journey. Steve Jobs was once fired from Apple, the very company he founded, but that setback led him to create new ideas and return stronger than ever. Similarly, Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team, yet instead of giving up, he used that rejection as fuel to practice harder and become the greatest basketball player of all time. Each rejection they faced did not weaken them, it made them hungrier for success. It tested their determination and proved how badly they wanted to achieve their dreams. Rejection served as the fire that refine their vision and sharpen their focus. Rejection also humanizes success. It reminds us that the people we admire are not superhuman. They are individuals who have felt the same pain, doubt, and discouragement that we do. The only difference is that they did not allow rejection to define their worth or limit their potential. Instead, they used it as a lesson, a reminder that rejection is not a verdict on one's abilities, but a challenge to keep growing. This realization empowers us to view our own rejections differently. Every no we face is not a reflection of who we are, but an invitation to evolve, improve, and persist until the right opportunity arrives. In a world that celebrates achievement but often hides failure, it's important to remember that rejection is the hidden foundation of every great success. It teaches humility, patience, and strength. It separates those who merely dream from those who dare to keep going despite obstacles. Every person who has reached the top has faced moments when the world told them they weren't good enough, but they refused to listen. They turned their rejection into resilience, their pain into power, and their setbacks into stepping stones. The lesson is clear. If you want to succeed, you must be willing to face rejection again and again until success becomes your only option. Rejection has a unique way of testing the strength of our spirit. When we face a no after giving our best, it stings deeply. But within that sting lies the opportunity to build resilience. Resilience is not something we are born with. It is something life teaches us through challenges and disappointments. Each rejection we experience forces us to adapt, to reevaluate our goals, and to find new ways forward. It is through enduring these moments that we develop mental toughness and emotional endurance. Like muscles that grow stronger under pressure, our resilience expands each time we overcome the pain of rejection. Resilience built through rejection allows us to rise after every fall. Instead of breaking under disappointment, we begin to bounce back faster, more determined than before. The difference between those who quit and those who succeed often lies in this simple quality: the ability to keep moving despite being rejected. When rejection comes, it can either paralyze us with fear or energize us to try again with greater wisdom. Over time, these experiences teach us to face challenges without losing hope. We begin to understand that rejection is not a sign to stop, but a call to grow stronger, smarter, and more patient in pursuit of our goals. Moreover, rejection helps us build emotional resilience by teaching us how to handle criticism, doubt, and failure gracefully. It forces us to confront our insecurities and understand that setbacks do not define our value. Every time we rise after being rejected, we build a deeper sense of confidence and inner peace. We start believing that we can survive disappointment and even thrive in it. This emotional strength becomes a shield that protects us from future challenges. It gives us the courage to face uncertainty without fear, knowing that rejection is just one more step in the process of becoming stronger and more capable. Resilience built through rejection also changes the way we approach life. Instead of avoiding risks or fearing failure, we begin to embrace challenges with open arms. We learn to see rejection as feedback, not failure. It becomes a tool for growth rather than a source of pain. People who are resilient understand that every rejection holds a hidden lesson, a message about what can be improved or approached differently. This mindset transforms rejection from a roadblock into a stepping stone. Over time, resilience turns us into individuals who are not easily shaken, who stand firm in their purpose, and who continue to push forward no matter how many times they are told no. Rejection is often the most honest form of feedback life can give us. When we face rejection, it exposes areas that need development, encouraging us to reflect, learn, and evolve. Many times, we move through life thinking our efforts are enough until rejection reminds us there's room for improvement. It forces us to take a step back and ask difficult but necessary questions. What could I have done better? What do I need to change? This process of self-examination leads to growth that comfort and success rarely offer. Growth doesn't happen when everything goes right. It happens when something challenges us to rise above our limitations. Rejection in this sense becomes a powerful teacher, one that refines us into stronger, wiser, and more capable individuals. When we face rejection with an open mind, it transforms into an opportunity for learning rather than an emotional wound. Every no we encounter carries within it valuable lessons that can improve our approach, skills, and mindset. A rejected job application might teach us how to enhance our resume or sharpen our communication. A failed relationship might reveal what we need to work on within ourselves. Even creative or personal rejections push us to dig deeper, refine our craft, and build greater resilience. Through these lessons, we gain not only knowledge, but also the discipline to continuously strive for better. Growth becomes less about avoiding rejection and more about using it as a tool for self-betterment. Rejection also strengthens our sense of self-awareness. It teaches us to separate our worth from our outcomes and to focus instead on progress and effort. As we learn from our failures, we begin to recognize our patterns, our weaknesses, and our strengths. This awareness helps us make wiser decisions, pursue goals that align more closely with our abilities, and avoid repeating past mistakes. Rejection acts as a mirror, showing us who we are and who we have the potential to become. The pain we feel after rejection eventually turns into clarity about our purpose, direction, and what truly matters to us. Most importantly, rejection humbles us. It reminds us that success is not a straight path and that growth requires patience and persistence. It grounds us in reality and motivates us to keep learning no matter how much we achieve. Without rejection, we might become complacent or overconfident, believing there's nothing left to improve. But rejection keeps us hungry, curious, and aware that growth is an ongoing journey. Each rejection plants the seed of improvement, pushing us to evolve beyond who we were yesterday. In the end, rejection is not a reflection of failure, it is a catalyst for personal and professional growth that molds us into our best selves. Rejection has an undeniable emotional impact. It can bruise our pride, shake our confidence, and even make us question our self-worth. Yet, it is through these emotional struggles that we learn to understand and regulate our feelings. Emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize, manage, and respond to emotions, both our own and those of others, and rejection provides the perfect environment for developing this skill. When we are rejected, we experience disappointment, anger, sadness, or frustration, but over time we learn to process those emotions in healthier ways. We begin to understand that while emotions are powerful, they do not have to control our actions. Through rejection, we learn how to stay calm in the face of pain, reflect before reacting, and approach challenges with composure and self-awareness. This growth in emotional intelligence also enhances empathy. Experiencing rejection helps us understand the pain others feel when they are turned away, dismissed, or misunderstood. It makes us more compassionate and patient in our interactions because we know what it's like to struggle. Instead of responding harshly to others' failures, we start offering support and encouragement. Rejection teaches us humility. It reminds us that everyone faces moments of vulnerability. This deeper sense of empathy strengthens our relationships, both personal and professional, because we learn how to listen, relate, and connect with people on a more human level. By facing rejection ourselves, we become better equipped to handle the emotions of those around us. Moreover, rejection helps us build emotional stability. It teaches us to separate our identity from our circumstances. We begin to understand that being rejected doesn't mean we are unworthy. It simply means that something didn't align at that particular moment. This awareness helps us maintain balance even in emotionally charged situations. Instead of taking rejection personally, we start viewing it as part of life's process. We stop overreacting to setbacks and instead approach them with maturity and perspective. This control over our emotional responses not only builds inner peace, but also makes us more resilient in the face of future disappointments. The stronger our emotional intelligence becomes, the less power rejection has to break us. Ultimately, rejection refines our emotional intelligence by teaching us emotional endurance, the ability to remain kind, calm, and confident even when things don't go our way. It's easy to be emotionally balanced when life is smooth. But true emotional strength is revealed when we stay grounded during turmoil. Rejection helps us cultivate patience, gratitude, and understanding. Three essential traits of emotionally intelligent individuals. As we grow through rejection, we stop viewing emotions as weaknesses and begin to see them as guides, helping us navigate life's challenges with wisdom. The emotional control and empathy gained from rejection become lifelong assets, allowing us to connect deeply, lead wisely, and rise above negativity. Rejection acts as a powerful filter in life. It reveals who is willing to persevere and who is quick to give up. When faced with rejection, some people allow disappointment to consume them, while others use it as motivation to rise higher. This difference in reaction is what separates the weak from the strong. The weak see rejection as a final judgment, believing it defines their worth or potential. The strong, on the other hand, see it as a test, a challenge that must be overcome through resilience, determination, and faith in their own abilities. Every great achievement requires a period of struggle, and rejection is often the first trial that determines whether someone truly has the strength to continue the journey. Those who are strong understand that rejection is part of the process, not the end of it. They accept that every no they receive brings them one step closer to a yes. Instead of surrendering, they learn from the experience, improve themselves, and come back stronger. It is this persistence that sets them apart from those who allow rejection to break their spirit. The strong do not run from pain. They face it, learn from it, and grow through it. Rejection becomes a source of inner power rather than weakness. They view obstacles as opportunities for growth, using each rejection as fuel to keep moving forward with even greater passion and focus. Rejection also builds mental and emotional strength, qualities that define true resilience. When you have been rejected multiple times and still find the courage to keep trying, you develop a kind of strength that cannot be taught. It must be earned. The strong learn to detach their self-worth from outcomes, realizing that rejection doesn't make them less capable or less deserving. It simply means that the timing, the opportunity, or the approach wasn't right yet. This mindset allows them to stay calm in the face of failure and confident in their long-term vision. The weak may crumble under the weight of one rejection, but the strong rise from many, proving that endurance is the greatest indicator of strength. And in many ways, rejection serves as a training ground for greatness. It weeds out those who only want success when it's easy and highlights those who are truly committed to their goals. The strong emerge from rejection with greater clarity, focus, and self-belief. They no longer fear failure because they faced it and survived. Each rejection they endure hardens their resolve, sharpening their ability to adapt and persevere. This transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's built through consistent effort, reflection, and an unshakable belief in one's purpose. In the end, rejection becomes the ultimate test of character, one that only the strong can pass with determination and grace. Rejection is not the opposite of success. It is part of the path that leads to it. Every setback, every no, and every missed opportunity is preparing you for something greater ahead. Success doesn't just require talent or luck. It requires readiness. Rejection acts as the refining fire that strengthens you mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, so that when the right opportunity finally comes, you are ready to handle it with maturity and wisdom. Many people want success immediately, but without the lessons that rejection teaches, they would not have the strength or understanding to sustain it. Each rejection adds to your experience, builds your resilience, and shapes your perspective, preparing you for the success that truly belongs to you. Through rejection, you learn patience, one of the most essential qualities for long-term success. In a world where everyone seeks instant gratification, rejection reminds you that great things take time. It slows you down and forces you to focus on growth rather than shortcuts. Every rejection you face teaches you something about endurance, self-belief, and the value of persistence. It conditions you to work harder, think smarter, and act with greater intention. By the time success finally arrives, you are not the same person who once faced rejection. You are stronger, wiser, and more capable of appreciating and maintaining what you have achieved. This transformation ensures that success doesn't overwhelm you, it empowers you. Rejection also helps you develop perspective. When you face disappointment, you gain a deeper understanding of what truly matters. You begin to recognize that success is not only about reaching goals but about becoming the kind of person who can handle challenges with grace. Each rejection brings you closer to understanding your true purpose and direction. It clears away the illusions and distractions that might have held you back, teaching you humility and gratitude. When success finally comes after many failures, you value it more deeply because you've earned it through perseverance. Rejection gives success its meaning. Without struggle, triumph feels hollow. Lastly, rejection shapes your mindset for the future. Once you've experienced rejection and learned from it, you no longer fear it. Instead, you see it as a natural part of progress. This fearless attitude becomes a key ingredient in achieving lasting success. People who succeed at the highest levels are those who no longer let rejection stop them. They use it as feedback, as direction, and as fuel to keep improving. Rejection molds you into someone who not only achieves success, but sustains it with wisdom, humility, and resilience. It trains you to recognize that every fall is an opportunity to rise stronger, and every rejection is a silent preparation for the success that's waiting just ahead. In the end, rejection is not a sign of failure, it is a sign of growth. Every time you face rejection, you are being shaped, strengthened, and prepared for something far greater than you can imagine. It teaches you patience, resilience, and self-awareness, molding you into the person capable of handling success with wisdom and gratitude. Instead of running from rejection, embrace it as part of your journey. Let every no push you closer to your purpose, and let every setback remind you of your strength. Remember, rejection doesn't destroy dreams, it refines dreamers. The strongest people are not those who never face rejection, but those who rise every time they do.